Hey guys, this is Evan Summers. I am here today to help introduce you to Dr. Josh Axe's Institute of Nutritional Leadership 2016 program. With me today, I have Dana from WholeHealthDana.com. She is an INL 2015 alumni. Also have Kira Oliver of YourOwnUtopia.com. She is also a Dr. Axe ambassador, as I am as well. And I have the pleasure to introduce Dr. David Jockers, who is a close personal friend of Dr. Axe, knows this program inside and out, and it is my pleasure to introduce him so we can take your questions, get your comments, and answer anything that you might want to know about Dr. Axe and this program that for me was absolutely life-changing. Had it not been for this program last year, I wouldn't know any of these people, first of all, but I also wouldn't be in business for myself the way I am right now. And I owe all of that and a huge debt of gratitude to Dr. Axe for putting that program together, helping me understand both the health and the business side of wellness. And as a result of that, I have completely changed the people I hang around with, upgraded my life, upgraded my family's life, and have this program to initially thank for that. So with that, let me hand it off to Dana, then Kira to introduce yourselves, and then, of course, I want to have Dr. Jockers introduce himself and talk about his connection to this program as well.
All right, thanks, Evan. My name is Dana. I have a health and wellness blog. It's WholeHealthDana.com, and I am a 2015 alumni of the Institute of Nutritional Leadership. And so today, I guess I was just invited along to kind of share my experience and how it has helped launch my business. And it has a tremendous amount, but I don't think we're going to be discussing that right now, right, Evan? We're just kind of... Right. Okay. So I guess that's really all to say. I'm here because I've done the program and it's awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Should I go, Evan?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm Kira Oliver. YourOwnUtopia.com is my business. I took INL the first year that it launched, and it's changed my life incredibly. And then since I've been an ambassador, I was invited to be an ambassador and help coach everyone along throughout the program, just kind of as a backup to Dr. Axe. So it's just been amazing. Yeah, I think that's it.
All right, I have the pleasure to introduce Dr. David Jockers, and I would love to hear your connection to Dr. Axe and this program as well, sir. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely. Excited to be on with you guys. And, I've known Dr. Axe, 10 years, for 10 years. So he was in chiropractic college at the same time I was, and he went to a different school than I did, but we were both part of a similar organization. So I stayed over his apartment. He stayed over mine several times. So we know each other pretty well. and he started his practice in Tennessee. And I was still a student. I would go out and kind of help him do marketing in the community and things like that. So I really saw him start from scratch, and he's always just been such a big thinker and a visionary. So, it's no wonder that obviously his online presence has just exploded, and obviously he's making a huge impact. And like all of us here have been influenced heavily by him. And he's somebody that, I run a lot of my ideas off of. And he's just always been just a great encouraging force in my life, and somebody that I really look up to. And, couldn't find a better person to be a mentor in this field, because he's really taken the time to become an expert when it comes to not only natural health, but also really how to create a presence, how to get your message out to the masses, how to create online programs, and really help people, in a sense, help translate all the in-depth scientific information that we're getting and make it usable and applicable for the average individual.
That's great. And, for you guys that are here, I'm getting a lot of echo from somebody. Dr. Jocker, see if you can mute yourself for a second. Let me see if it's coming through yours. There we go. Is that better? Yes. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. We'll unmute it here in a second. But for those of you that are in the room that are here for the first time and learning about the INL program for the very first time, you have a unique opportunity to ask questions today, not only of two people who are Dr. Axe ambassadors, meaning myself and Kira. You also have Dana's opinion, who, as an INL 2015 graduate and alumni, can answer questions. But this one is unique because we have a personal friend of Dr. Axe's in here with Dr. Jockers, and he can lend more of a personal connection to this program and to kind of the motivation and the drive that, Dr. Jockers has created programs of his own. It is a part of this industry that a lot of people strive to achieve. And there's a deep personal connection here with why Dr. Axe does what he does. And somebody of the ilk of Dr. Jockers would have a closer connection to that than any of the rest of us. So you guys feel free to ask any questions that you might have. I know I was inspired to invite Dr. Jockers here with us today because of the quote that he posted about Dr. Axe and his program and his dedication to health. And that's, if you don't mind, you're probably not going to remember that quote directly, Dr. Jockers, but if you can kind of give us a quick understanding of what you meant by, how you've seen this man reach the masses the way you have.
Yeah, I'm unmuted now. How's that?
Yep, you're good.
Okay. Yeah, so Dr. Axe is he's one of the most innovative, creative people that I know. And, and I guess you could say in internet marketing, we're always kind of a little bit leery because, all of us have, I think in especially in today's society, we love to buy, but we hate to be sold, right? Nobody likes to be sold things, but we all love to buy. We buy every single day. And Dr. Axe really has a great talent at creating so much value to where, so it's like a program like this, like for $200, I mean, it's, it's a no-brainer. So there's so much value that you don't feel like you're being sold something you don't want. Instead, it's a very intriguing buying. And that's really a huge component to having successful internet business, or really a clinic or any sort of business, is creating such a great product that it's like a no-brainer that whatever you're charging for that individual, the perceived value should be like 10 times that amount. And, Dr. Axe is fantastic with that. So he does it with a lot of creativity, innovativeness, and a high level of integrity.
Absolutely. Go ahead,
We've been
Kira.
talking about Dr. Jockers, about how with the first week, how you already feel like you've gotten your money's worth. I don't know if you had that feeling, but he just gives so much information just right in the beginning. I just found it to be hugely valuable right away, especially if you do the homework along the way. I mean, of course, you're going to get way more out of it if you actually do the work and apply yourself.
Yeah, I would totally agree. And, so there's a third party testimony right there.
Yeah.
You got all the value out of it in the first week.
Go ahead, Dana.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, honestly, when Dr. Jocker said that, we didn't feel like we were being sold, honestly, I felt like I was ripping Dr. Axe off. Like I was getting way more than what he was being compensated for, because it was just awesome. Evan, did you see the questions that they had there? There might be some people kind of confused about exactly what INL is.
Yeah. I see Mike was asking a couple of questions. First, he wanted to know what program we're talking about. It's the Dr. Axe Institute of Nutritional Leadership program. I have the web address right under my picture, so you guys can see that there. And that will be the link to on my screen here. You're pointing at the crowd.
Okay.
But if you guys go to that site, and we'll type it into the chat as well. If you go to that site, you'll be able to check out that program and what Dr. Axe has to offer. Mike, you asked as well, and by the way, for those of you that are in the room, if you have a question, if you type /Q to lead off your question, we will see it flagged as a question, so we'll be able to more quickly address it and pull it out of the chatter in the text box. For $200, you're getting a vast overview of both business and health and wellness side of the industry. I came into this program last year, and Dr. Jockers, this might make you chuckle a little bit because I don't know if you've heard this yet, but I've said this on the previous 2 labs that we've done. I came into the program last year barely knowing who Dr. Axe was. In fact, by November of 2014, when my wife started talking about him, I said, "What is a Dr. Axe?" I had no clue whatsoever who the man was. I expected that I was paying $200 for a thinly veiled sales presentation. I fully expected that this was going to be Dr. Axe pitching everybody on his book, on his supplements, on his programs, and that we were basically going to be sold something every week of the 8-week program. And when I met the man in person, I shook his hand, and I couldn't be prouder to be more wrong. This $200 literally was the best $200 I've ever spent. That's why I titled this blab that. I learned more in the first 2 weeks of this 8-week program than I would have learned easily in a $2,000 business plan. It's just crazy amount of information. Forget about the health and wellness side. Any entrepreneur, anybody with an entrepreneurial spirit that takes this class will be suddenly propelled into new heights and new understandings about how to operate their business.
Yeah, and I actually, no, go ahead, Dr. Jockers.
Okay, I was going to say that, I was in college for 9 years, and that's like $200,000. I don't know, something crazy like that. And Dr. Axe, pretty similar amount of time and money spent on getting multiple degrees to do what we do as doctors. And he and I will both tell you that the information that you'll get in a program like this is a lot more applicable. And, obviously a fraction, very, very, very small fraction of the time and money that we spent on getting our education. And so people will easily drop, in a semester at a community college, taking classes that they'll never use, they'll easily drop $2,000, right? So 10 times the amount for this program to take like a college algebra class that they'll never go out and use. And this program, what's great about it is you get information that's you can immediately apply like that day to grow a business, to improve your health, and to just improve your overall satisfaction and happiness in your life.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wanted to add to what both of you guys are saying. Evan, you mentioned like it was this vast overview, and actually I would like to say it's way deeper than that. I mean, I think, if I combine what you guys said, I mean, it really truly takes you through all the steps and the things that you need to do in order to, whether you're from, on ground zero, I mean, you haven't even started, or, maybe you've started your business, but you don't know how to gain your audience or whatever it may be. I think he takes you through those steps. Again, you have to apply the steps, but he gives you the information you need. It's not overwhelming if you keep up with it. I know some people get behind, and that's not a problem either. I mean, you're able to get to the recordings and the information, but ultimately he takes you through every step. And even if your budget is the smallest budget imaginable, he helps you to understand how to achieve your goals on a budget. So there's really no excuse for any of us to not be able to develop our own businesses. We just have to kind of get some guts and go.
Yeah, one of the things that, was for me, when I got that email in my inbox last year, I had just gotten done looking at 2 different health coaching programs that were well outside of my budget for it. That they were $3,600 to $4,000, and a lot of what I wanted out of it was the business aspect of it. As far as like social media, and I had decided, against those programs, and I was literally getting ready to launch my blog at the time that I got that email. And gosh, I'm so glad that I did. The most important thing I probably learned on that class is I didn't know anything. when I started. I was about ready to jump into something that I had no idea, and I never would have made it as far as I have now without that program. A lot of it just because of the people that I've met in the program. So I learned from other people. We have a weekly mastermind from, some of the people that, I took the course with. And without it, I really had no idea what I was doing. All I know that is I wanted to share with people that they could prevent disease if they would make better decisions now. And because of this course, I learned so much about social media and websites and some things I'm not practicing now, but I'm working on getting there. But without it, I could not I probably wouldn't even been able to have launched my blog after I gotten into it, just because I really didn't know what I was getting into when I made the decision to share health.
Oh, we can't hear you, Evan.
Now you can. I'm going to throw it back to Dr. Jockers here in a minute, because I know I want to be conscious of his time, and I know he had some appointments today. But I want to say that all of that I can echo 100% assurity. When I came into the program last year, I had an idea in my head that I wanted to become a health and wellness coach. But that was just this kind of pie in the sky idea based upon making personal changes and inspiring people that we had in our house and in our community of friends. I never expected to go through a program like this where somebody who's lived this life and this dream the way he has, the way he has given people real life advice and ways to save money and save time and build a business in a logical set of steps that he has done, and he's sharing the expertise that he's learned along the way, and he's charging nothing for it. I mean, $200 is quite literally nothing in the grand scheme of what you're getting in both business and wellness coaching. So go ahead, Dominic. Like I said, I'll throw up Dr. Jockers. I would love to get your sense on that. I know you have to head out, so I leave it up to you. Whenever you want to bail out, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in complete agreement with that. I think that it's a fantastic. Couldn't find a lower cost investment that gives you as much value. So somebody that's been in this, I've had an active website going for 4 years now. And so somebody that does this and has put countless amount of hours into creating content, things like that. It's one of those things where getting knowledge and getting strategy for how to get started is like, if I could go back and take this class in a sense before I even had, probably a lot of listeners probably think, well, I don't have a website, or I don't have followers or email list or anything like that. But I'll tell you, if I could go back and take this class before I even started, it would have saved me so much time and energy and money. I mean, the reality is I've like, to some degree, I mean, I don't really think you ever waste time if you're doing something productive and working towards your vision. But I have like gone around in circles and done things that really didn't provide a whole lot of value, and just put a lot of time into things that probably I could have been better served putting time into other areas. So you do not need to have a list. And if you do have a list, you're already getting started, then this should really help sharpen you and really refine your vision and refine your direction. And I think that makes a world of difference.
Absolutely. You want to? I'm going to let. If I know you said you needed to head out around 3:15. If you would, I want you to go ahead and, especially as a special thank you for joining us. Give a quick update to everybody about who you are, what your website's all about, and where they can find you after the blab as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's a pleasure and an honor to be on, and Evan, I definitely would love to pick your brain about how to do these and learn more about it. And great to meet you guys as well, Kyra and Dana. Great to meet you guys, and really glad to hear about the success you've had and what you've taken from this program. And so I've got a website, drjockers.com, and Facebook, Dr. David Jockers. And so I'm a natural health doctor in Kennesaw, Georgia, and I do functional medicine, functional nutrition, and chiropractic care. So if you're in the Atlanta area, check us out. And of course, we work with people all over the world and provide content related to functional nutrition, functional medicine, and mental health.
This man has the most comprehensive and amazing chiropractic practice I've ever set foot into in my life. That's all I have to say.
Dr. Jockers, I'm from Tennessee, so I go back home, as often as I can. I live in San Diego now, but sometimes I actually fly to Atlanta and spend a couple of days there. So if I find myself there, I'll definitely let you know.
Yeah, sounds good. I see the surfboard behind you there. So I grew up in Florida, and I grew up bodyboarding and surfing and things like that. So
awesome.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. Did you see the Eddies on today?
The what?
Yeah.
The Eddies on today. I saw her surfboard back there. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah.
I love living here. Of course, I'm a triathlete, so it's perfect. It's where the triathlon originated on Fiesta Island here in San Diego. So it's I'm an Ironman triathlete, so it's kind of perfect to be able to train here as well.
Absolutely. I can't
awesome.
beat San Diego. That's like perfect weather.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you.
All right, guys.
Thank you, Dr. Jockers.
Great one.
Thank you, Dr.
All
Jockers.
All right, so just because Dr. Jockers is leaving doesn't mean that the blab's over. I want to make sure that we're going to pop these questions into the chat so you guys can see it. Mike wants to know, would a program like this help a company like his that currently sells supplements online? I want to address that for you, Mike, in two ways. Number one, it could help as far as possibly either expanding your reach into some new areas, give you some new ideas that you may not have ever thought about with your business. The second thing is, and I almost hate to mention this because it seems like a cop-out, but Dr. Axe also offers a 60-day money-back guarantee on this program. Theoretically, you could go through the entire 8-week course and then turn around and say, okay, that's not really worth it, and get your money back, and still have taken the entire 8-week program and determine whether or not it's right for you.
I can't imagine doing that, though. Seriously, just the people that I met in the first week before the class even started has changed my life. I mean, I can't imagine a world where I didn't think I got more value than I paid for.
Exactly. All right, Kira, I'll let you. You want to answer that one?
Oh, yeah, I'm trying. So, Chris, I hope you, I'm trying to type it in here.
I got it.
There we are, Chris. Oh, okay. So, Chris, I think, lives here in San Diego, or we're on Facebook together. So, yeah, Chris, it is the $200. The $2,500 is what it's going to be probably next year. So, this is the third year. He's keeping it at $200, but it is a $2,500 program. So, I'm not sure exactly what you're looking at, but it is only $200. But the value is easily the $2,500, if that makes any sense. So, yeah, Chris is awesome. Chris, he has a great audience out there as well. So I hope you join us, Chris.
Yeah, and then just click on the link that I have over here in the chat, and that'll take you to the page. Even though the countdown clock shows zeros, you can still click the link that says apply now or apply today, and you'll be able to apply to get into this course at the $200 price point. So I just want to say, first of all, I want to, even though he's not here and he's gone, I from the bottom of my heart, want to thank Dr. Jockers for being here. I think that was huge. I didn't necessarily expect that the man was going to be able to clear time in his schedule to come in and talk to us about this. I'm blown away that he made time for us like that. I think it goes to show how incredible a program this is when a man with the reach of Dr. Jockers, albeit a colleague of Dr. Axe, was able to schedule us in to be able to give his testimonial as well.
Especially when, I mean, he has nothing to gain from it. I mean, he doesn't get paid for it, just like we don't. We're just here because we love the program and, would like to see other people as touched by it from us, especially knowing that the price is going up. I have tried to talk some people. I'm like, you've got to do it. You've got to do it this year. So hopefully they jump on board while they still can.
Now, guys, we've got an open seat. I'm going to let you talk in just a second, Kira. We've got an open seat. If you guys have any questions, we've got a full room in the house right now. If you guys have any questions, any comments, just click on the open seat. We'll see it ringing on our end and be happy to let you in so you can ask your questions or make your comments. That's what this whole thing is all about. It's an open forum for you guys to ask questions, get comfortable and familiar with this program, so your questions are answered before we ever start this thing up.
Yeah, so I thought now might be a great time to just kind of do a recap of what the program is.
Absolutely.
So there are 2 classes per week. You get an email each week that will give you the links to get access to the recorded information. It's 2 classes. If you miss the time, you can go back and listen to it. It's not a big deal, although I do encourage you to try to keep up with it, because that's how you will have a lot of success. He gives you little bits of homework as you go. There are going to be worksheets. Basically, if you apply yourself, you do go through the worksheets, you're going to just accomplish your goals. You also will have opportunities to ask plenty of questions. We as ambassadors are almost constantly available to answer questions on the Facebook community page, which is huge. It's a tremendous resource. But back to the classes. So one of the classes is going to be about business development, and the other one will be about nutrition and some really detailed information about different nutritional issues like hormones and thyroid, gut issues, depression, a lot of those different issues that actually are quite common in our society today. So you get so much valuable information to be able to help answer questions that your clients are going to have, and to give you resources with that. And then, of course, back to the business side, it's all the different resources that you need, and from a budget perspective too. So you don't have to stress about, oh, I'm going to have to put in thousands and thousands. I mean, sure, if you've got the budget, I mean, you can take it as far as you want. But Dr. Axe gives you tools on a very, very low budget, because he was at that point at once too. So basically, he's sharing with us what he did to get to where he is today. And if you guys don't know or did not see the 100 top wellness advocates out there in the world, he was number 43, I believe, 42 or 43, top 100. He's just grown astronomically, and he'll be the first person to tell you he doesn't think anyone on this planet is more passionate about health and wellness than he is. Although we might go up against him on that one. But anyway.
And you know what blows me away with all of his success, with all of his followers? The man is the most humble health coach I think I've ever met. Like, if you went up to him and shook his hand and told him that you're a big fan and that you are a follower of his, he has this look on his face like, really? Why me? I mean, just kind of humble. I would imagine he is probably the same guy he was when he started his practice, and he's feeding the world a wealth of health and wellness information right from the heart, because that's what he does. He is just a very giving, humble, genuine person that just wants to change a million homes. At this point, it's probably millions.
Right. And all across the world, because this program is open to everybody. So, I mean, we had so many people last year, and even the people that I've seen joining the Facebook page this year have been, from all over the world. So that's really fun too.
Yep.
So I was trying to respond to Steve's question, but it will be easier instead of trying to type it.
Right.
So Steve, glad you're excited. So this program is recorded. We don't want you to think otherwise. I think there may be a couple of live opportunities for questions, but regardless, they're very thoroughly planned and organized. It has, through a lot of experience and testing, this is the best module and way to do this, so that they're available to you at any time. But you will have opportunities to ask questions throughout the course, and especially on that Facebook page. I mean, that's what we're there for. And if we as ambassadors don't know the answer, we're able to go directly to Dr. Axe and his team and get the answers for you.
Yep. There was a question that came up earlier from V Oils that I know we didn't address directly. We addressed it into the chat, but I want to make sure that we mention this too. The question was specifically, and I'm assuming this about oils in general. I don't know if this is about oils and health advice, but the question was, they have a concern about the current FDA guidelines for compliant speech. When you support a specific company, will you be able to use the info you learn and not get in trouble? It's not an essential oils training course. In fact, when I say it's an overview, throughout the course of the program, you will learn about oils, but you're not going to learn about oils geared to a specific company or a specific essential oils program. You're going to learn about diets. You're going to learn about nutrition. You're going to learn a lot of web resources, a lot of business resources, but nothing that's going to be in a direct relation demanding that you buy or work with a specific company. It's all about choice. It's all about you making the right decision to support your business. So when you ask about things like FDA compliance, that's something that you personally will have to reconcile for yourself in the way you discuss the companies that you represent. And the same thing comes true for health advice. I know myself, I'm in a red state. I'm very limited as to what I'm allowed to say and do in regards to coaching people. That's something you have to determine through the laws of where you live and see what the extent is of what your coaching practice is permitted to be, because different states have different regulations along those lines. So I hope that answered the question effectively for you.
Yeah, but that was fantastic, Evan. Dr. Axe does, however, teach you how to, let's say you want to start writing articles on your website. You've been needing to develop content. How do you do that and make sure that you are properly giving credit to any resources that you may use? He teaches us how to do that. He'll teach that throughout the program. So he basically takes away that fear of, where does my information come from, or how do I come across as legit? He takes all that away. And
he does.
I believe his phrase, what is it? Ready, fire, aim.
Yep.
Yeah. So instead of ready, aim, fire, it's ready, fire, aim. If you just, prepare yourself, get the information together, decide what you're going to do it, and then apply yourself after that. You do the follow-up, the proper follow-up or whatever. I mean, that's where he really gives you the guts to do what you know that you can do. He really pushes you to have that confidence. I think that's probably one of the biggest things about this course is it's a huge confidence builder in addition to all the amazing knowledge that you get.
Oh, absolutely. I'd probably still be trying to design my website if I hadn't been seriously, it's not that, he pushes you, but he really gets you to understand that, what, perfection doesn't matter as much as doing. And that's one of those things, I wanted my website to be perfect. I wanted everything to be right. And so eventually I just launched my website and figured that would give me the incentive to make it perfect because it was out there now. And that's really helped me in a lot of things of just, pushing past that and just doing.
Yeah, I think the same thing kind of happened for me. I felt that I was really restricted because I didn't have my platform out there. But once I just let go and push the platform out there, well, then I had a stage, I had somewhere to speak from confidently, and it's just gotten better since. So, I'm always trying to develop it and make it better, but, I'm able to prioritize far better now, wow, I'd love to do that on my website, but that's not really important today. This is far more important today. And just planning around that.
I've watched last year when this program launched. I took it as a sign from the universe that this was the direction I was supposed to go in, because a couple of months prior, I had no idea who Dr. Axe was, and it just built upon itself. And what I've interestingly come to discover in the year since we've been in this program, think of it like a painting, like a half-finished or an unfinished painting that an artist has on a canvas or on an easel. People who come into it that have a painting that has been started but never completed seem to find great direction to complete that piece of artwork or to complete the sculpture that they've started. People who come in with a blank canvas have no idea whatsoever what's in front of them, can't even find the inspiration to put brush to canvas, suddenly at the end of 8 weeks have discovered a masterpiece in front of them. It's that powerful when I say it is the best $200 you could ever spend, because it helps people at every possible level of engagement through this process.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're already pretty developed, but you just want to develop further, it's useful, for that individual as well.
Yeah, and the thing that I guess I was surprised about it last year, but I shouldn't have been. Everybody in the class was in it for a different reason. Some of them were like me, they wanted to launch a business and they needed a little more knowledge and, a little more help. Some of them were just there because they were sick or a family member was sick, and they were searching for ways to help themselves and help their family. And it didn't matter what your level was or your reason for being there. There was something for everybody that was in our group last year.
Totally. And your motivations are your own. And I guess it's natural on some level, because we see this quite a bit too. It's natural to compare where you are in the state of your business or state of health or state of preparedness to your perception of where others around you are. And sometimes you can allow yourself to feel defeated or feel less worthy in the face of others who may appear to be more successful around you. And I will tell you that a program like this that addresses people at all levels and addresses them equally should hope to serve to help you to get past that comparative nature. Because the only person whose results you have to live up to are your own. And hopefully a program like this will help inspire that for you. I know it did for me. I used to live a life where I tried to compare myself to others. And if I didn't measure up on some level that was in my brain, I felt like I wasn't doing enough. I don't do that anymore. It's so altering of my perceptions because of this program.
I was laughing because Steve is making fun of himself. He's giving us all these great quotes over here.
Yeah, I see that.
90% perfect and shared with the world always changes more lives than 100% perfect and stuck in your head.
Yep.
That's really good. And
it is.
The reason we struggle with insecurity is because we compare our behind the scenes with everyone else's highlight reel. Steve Furtick, that's awesome. Thanks.
Yeah, those are some great quotes.
Yeah, I wish I had chat. I have no chat today, so I can't see anything that's going on over there.
Oh,
I'm glad I read those for you.
There was a quote that I mentioned in the last blab that I heard from a music artist who said, "You have all the time in the world to produce your first record." Which really, when you kind of sit back and you let yourself absorb that, you recognize the fact that for anybody who is just starting this process, that doesn't even have a website up and running, doesn't even have a niche that you're specifically following, nobody knows that but you. Nobody recognizes that you haven't started the process except you. So the day you launch is the day you launch. It doesn't matter if it's tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. You're still going to be years ahead of the people that haven't started yet. So you have all the time in the world to release your first record.
I have to just share with you, Dana, real quick, that Steve then quoted you at chat. Oh, well, Dana.
Yeah,
so what do you say?
You're now a famous quote. I wish I had chat.
One of the things that I actually want to before, and I know I'm going to have to hop off, but in this program, yeah. So when you decide to launch, you launch, that's your day. But I think the most critical thing that I have done, the best thing that I have done in this entire process and that I have learned in this process from Dr. Axe is the consistency. So you may build this audience, but you won't build it very far if you're not consistent. So I'm very specific with my social media, for example, and exactly what time my posts go up. I'm very specific about that. The style of the post, where it comes from, what it says, all of those things, that consistency I would say is probably one of the biggest things that's building my audience.
Nice.
Yeah, and one of the things, just like talking on the whole consistency thing, I've noticed just for myself, because, for a while I just thought, my gosh, this is moving so slowly, and now every day I can see like my Facebook page is growing, and I'm not sure, where those people have come from or where they heard about my page or saw it. But it just kind of starts to snowball. If you keep putting stuff in there and you keep doing, it eventually hits that part where, it's growing on its own, as sometimes where you're just like, wow, this is awesome. I just need to keep it up and it'll keep doing what it's doing.
And then you monetize that, like, okay, you've got an audience, but then I don't know about you guys. I am wanting to make good money in my business. I'd say most people are wanting to do that. So I just want to be really honest, of course. But that is a choice that you have. Am I going to monetize this, and how am I going to do it? Oh, wow, I've built a great audience, but what do I want them to do? What are the things that I can give them that will help them in their lives that I'm passionate about, or whatever that is? And then how can I monetize? And on the other side of that, following the trends in terms of what am I going to give for free? Because there is a level of free, as we all know, that it's, because we're online, it's available. And so people know it's available, and you can't really skip by that. So you want to give them some sort of value to build your relationship. And that's probably the other, maybe that is the number one thing beyond, all of it. It's really about building the relationship. Yep.
And if you guys, as a reminder, we got a full room. If you've got something to add to the conversation, if you've been in here and you've watched what we've had to say and you've got some questions for us, feel free to take the open seat. Just, make sure you've got something to add to the conversation, of course. But we would love your questions, your comments, anything that you might want to know about this program. If we're not making ourselves abundantly clear for you, even if you don't think your question has validity, I can assure you that there's other people who are sitting back and just watching that are waiting for your question to be answered. So if you want to jump into the seat, feel free to do so.
And Evan, I'm very sorry, but I've got to jump off here because I've got another blab that's going to be starting in just a few, and I've got to prepare for it.
Got to get ready for our blab in 15 minutes.
Right. I don't know if you're showing up or not, but I must be there. So I wanted to thank you for inviting me to join today. I'm not an ambassador. I just I enjoyed the class so much, and I just think it would be so much value to anybody who, is feeling even like close to like, oh my gosh, should I do this? Because I know that the value that I got for the 200, and I'm very frugal with my money. And last year I had budgeted my entire year so I could basically take most of the year off to work on this. And so everything was very, very tight and very strictly budgeted. And the moment I got that email, I was afraid he was going to run out of seats. I gave him my money like seconds later because I did not want to miss out on it. And I knew how much these other programs cost. So I guess that's my parting ways, but I do have to go.
Thanks, Dina.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
All right. So if we don't have anybody who wants to jump into the seat, go ahead and we'll let you wrap it up, Kira. I'll follow you and we'll end it out.
Okay, awesome. So hopefully you guys have heard this. I know we're going to send out a link to this recording. So for anybody that came in late and you want to hear more about our personal experiences and why we think this is a great program, you'll be able to listen to that. But I do encourage it. It's going to help you personally, but it's going to also help you professionally. So there's just no, unless you just totally blow off the classes. If you blow them off, you're not going to get anything out of it. But if you show up and you listen and you take notes and you do the homework, again, it's not overwhelming. If you keep up with it as you go, you're going to see great success in your business. It's happening to me. It's been happening to me for a while. My business is growing. I'm for some of the top wellness educators in the world right now because of this experience. And one of which I can mention to you, and that's David Wolf out of LA. This guy has over 4 million followers, and I'm one of his writers. And that would not have happened without all of this, without this platform that I developed through this course. So, gosh, I could go on, but I just want to thank everybody for their time. And you know, we're here to answer questions. So you've got our contact information. Reach out if you need to. If you haven't signed up, sign up before it closes. I know there's just a few more days, and we get started on Monday. Yeah, Monday.
Yep. And, you know, right there is an example with Kira talking about writing for David Wolf. If I was still in the mindset that I was in previously, where I compared my success to that of others, I would just feel completely inept in the face of somebody like Kira. Because we went through this program last year, and I look at the level of success that not only she has achieved, but I have made some lifelong, not just connections, but I've made some lifelong friends as a result of last year's program. And I know you can say you can't put a price on friendship. Well, Dr. Axe put a price of $200 on friendship. And I would pay that 10 times over for the connections and the people that I have been introduced to as a result of this program. I have, even if I never, ever do a single bit of one-on-one for-profit health coaching, I have at my fingertips such a wealth of knowledge, understanding, and ability to reach out to experts in this field on any possible health condition imaginable, whether it affects me personally, my friends, my family, or just an acquaintance. I couldn't possibly imagine having a network like that in any other field imaginable. And the collaboration you get from the private Facebook group, the number of connections and people you will meet, the ability to reach out either within your own community or internationally to find amazing friends that you will have for life. You don't even need the course to get your money's worth. I truly believe that from the bottom of my heart. It's evidenced by the fact that just visiting the Facebook page, if you posted a question and asked, how many of you have taken this course before? And you see the number of alumni that are rabid for this course again, that alone should be testimonial. Yeah, rabid. That should be testimonial enough for the power behind this program.
Yeah, actually, that is a huge point. Before we sign off, we have alumni that are taking the course again. So forget what we're saying. I mean, that alone, I think, is pretty huge.
Yeah, it is. So I just want to wrap this up. I want to thank everybody who has come in, joined us, asked questions. I want to thank Dana and Dr. Jockers, who have both come and gone from this discussion. I hope you guys will join the program. Like I said, it's only $200. I have the website in the chat for you. You can go to the link, register today. The program starts on Monday, and you will get You'll get an email each week with the 2 programs that launch for that particular week, plus the worksheet. The worksheet is downloadable. It helps support the 2 classes that you will take for that week. If you can do them live, all the better, because there will be discussion and interaction on the Facebook group as it happens. So that's going to be it for me, for Dana from Whole Health Dana and Dr. Jockers, and of course for Kira Oliver from Your Own Utopia. My name is Evan Summers with Summers Wellness. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Have a fantastic rest of your day.
Thank you.